Shit. Yo, what up? What up? What up? You might not catch this right away, but I can almost certainly tell you're gonna catch the replay of this. And you know, it's what I'm noticing, man. Like what's missing in society, right? And I thought about this. I thought about this for a good long time, and I started seeing that, you know, um, there's a lack of wisdom in society. You know what I'm saying? There's lack of wisdom, and I've noticed it. And the question that I have is, of course, is the lack of wisdom from the fact that the older generation is no longer passing it down to the younger generation, or is it that the younger generation isn't listening? Because you got lean lean not into the lean into the I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you try to tell them, you know, what it is, and you try to tell them the right way that they should go, and they're not hearing it, man. They're too busy with uh, being concerned about their haters. You know, you should really only be concerned about your likers, man, because the haters, man, they gonna be there, man. And I got to say about these haters, man. They jump from place to place with a banana in their mouth, man. They like close the door on them, man. Welcome to the stream. It's the masculinist, my first stream ever. Come on in, grab a seat, sit down, hit that subscribe button, like the video, be checking the chat or whatever. Like I said, I don't give a damn if it's 0 viewers. I don't care if it's 4 viewers, it's 5, 10, or whatever. I want y'all to jump into the conversation because, this is what I've been noticing, man. I mean, like, it's really, really bad now, man, out here. It's like, everybody seems to be lost. Everybody seems not know how to do relationships. The men say they're not dealing with the women anymore, and the women say they're not dealing with the men. And I think that the biggest thing between the two genders is everybody's trying to show each other how much of a masculine person they are, how much of a masculine woman they are, feminine, whatever. In other places in the world, it's like it's not an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to thump your chest out. It's just naturally understood that this is a masculine man, and a woman, she's gonna just naturally be in her feminine energy. This is a feminine woman. And I think that now, everybody's got so caught up into this whole gender thing that you miss out on good people. You demonize everybody. And it's unfortunate, man. It's like, at some point you just gotta hit the table on it, man, because it'll piss you off if you sit and you think about it. You know what I mean? It's like you really gotta step back away from the way that society is pushing, because the society that we live in right now, man, it's just everybody just wants to, look out for self. There's no more family. There's no more togetherness. And this is about population control, man. I'm telling you, this is pretty much what it is. This is why we are where we are, because they couldn't do it any other way. The people in behind the scenes. So what did they do? Cause the genders to hate each other. Now the marriage rates are low. The birth rates. Um, Social media is all over the place, and nobody has wisdom. What is wisdom? Let's talk about it really quick. So wisdom, I would say, doesn't necessarily have to come from old age, because Christ was wise. It comes from how you were raised, the life experiences, or person that came before you, they would instill that into you. Raise a child up in the way it should go, and they should not stray from it, right? So that's the thing. Like, when you have a situation to where you don't have somebody showing you the way that you should go in your youth, then when you come up, you're gonna be lost. You know what I'm saying? Like you learn things in life that's gonna actually get you to where you need to be as a human. An adult, I'm sorry, an adult learns how to become an adult by the lessons that we get in our childhood. You know what I'm saying? If you see like your parents fighting all the time, and you see your friends' parents fighting all the time, and they both getting a divorce, what that's all you're gonna think about relationships. You're gonna always have, okay, yeah, close the door on it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll stop the shit, close the door on the motherfucker. That's how you gonna feel about it. If somebody tell you about healthy relationships, you're gonna be like, and then you're gonna see him as, you know what I'm saying? Just like you just ain't gonna whatever. You like, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't with that relationship shit, man. But I mean, like, you gotta think about the shit, man. It's like it's really an unfortunate thing, man, because people just they keep missing each other. Like, you know what I mean by not missing, like, oh baby, I miss you. What I'm saying is, people miss the person that they're supposed to be with or that they could be with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of that going on in the society, man, and I just want people to have happy relationships, man. And my channel, the masculinist, that I'm gonna tell you what that's about. So I have a serious side, and the masculinist is a personification of my serious side, because when I go out in the world, I can't be always clowning, having my guard down. I don't know who I'm gonna be dealing with. So when I go out, that's a part of me, and the way I dress or whatever. That's just how I am. But when I'm talking to like somebody I'm really comfortable around, a family member, a friend, they're not gonna see that side of me. They're never gonna see that side of me because I don't have to have my guard up. Think of your dog. If you have a dog, if you take him or her outside, you walk your dog, right? What's the first thing that their ears do when you take them outside? They go up. Why? Because they're on guard, because they're not in a familiar environment. But what's the first thing that happens when you bring them back indoors? The ears go down because they're home and they're around family. So it's like that for me. You know what I mean? Like, I create the channel because, back in 2020, because I had the channel since 2015. I created the channel back in 2015, and I kind of like well, I don't know what to do with this channel, man. I kind of forgot about it. And then of course when Kevin Samuels came along, the late great Kevin Samuels, I liked this message. Now listening to him and everything like that, and I made this, you know, mistake of thinking that his message would die with him. So honestly, I was like, okay, let me go ahead on and continue his message because I didn't know, what was gonna happen, because I was like, okay, all he's trying to say is, pick somebody that you are better suited for instead of shooting for the stars and not having anything to offer that person. But then, channel started getting views and everything, and I was accused of being a grifter and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, whatever. So anyway, I was like, I just sat out with the channel, man. I was like, man, everybody already got this information. They hear it all the time. It's the same shit you get regurgitating and everything like that. And the haters, man, I was like, but then of course I started thinking about, like, okay, maybe I should generally just take a step back and kind of share what I've learned as a man growing up. And this is what I've learned growing up, man. Like, I used to be a yes man, like, and I had to learn. I would say I was a peacekeeper and not a peacemaker. I'm going to tell you the difference. A peacekeeper walks on eggshells all the time. Don't want to start no arguments or whatever. You know, afraid to lose the person they with. I don't like that, but if I say something, she might leave or something like that. And I'm just speaking for the men because this is a man-centric channel, right? I don't want to. If I say that, she might leave. You never want to be with somebody that you're afraid they're gonna leave. Because if they leave, they're gonna leave. You can't do anything about it, right? So I became a yes man. I never backbone or anything like that. The young ladies, they would get involved with me and I treat them great, and they fall in love with me, fall all over me, right? I'm like, all right, cool. She really into me. I'm good, right? But then I'll start falling in love with a woman. I lose myself. I forget to be who I originally am when I'm not involved in a relationship, when I'm not in love. Because truly, when a man loves a woman, when he falls in love, when he loses himself. That's why the song "When a Man Loves a Woman" is out there. It's so relatable because when a man loves a woman, you can't tell him nothing about that woman. You know what I'm saying? He had rose-colored glasses, and she could do no wrong. And even if she wrongs him, he gonna still try to be there and try his best to fight and work it out and things like that. All that does is mess up your mental health. But what I say to men is there are women that you should deal with and women that you shouldn't deal with, and need to know the difference because it's all about your mental health. Because we live in a society that doesn't care about men, don't care about your pain, and make memes out of your pain. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, they see us as less than. It piss you off, make you hit the damn table all the time, man. But here's what I want to here's what I want to say. As men, if you're gonna entertain a woman for something serious, a relationship, right? You owe that woman a clean slate. What do I mean when I say that? I mean you don't take your past experiences and relationships into the new relationship. You have to give her a clean slate. Now, a lot of men will jump up and they'll say something like, well, these women ain't nothing out here, man. And some people might accuse me of saying that, but they missed the point. The point is, there are women who have loud mics, super loud mics, right? And then you have women who are quiet and soft spoken. And those women who are quiet and soft spoken, every time they try to share something positive about their relationship, they get dogged online. There's never been a time period at any time in history where a woman doing something positive for her family is demonized. And only miserable people demonize something positive like that. You know what I mean? And it's like you think about this, and these people, they don't have a foundation. The ones that come up with these bad names like pick me, when in actuality any woman would love to be picked and have a family, because you see him crying on TikTok later on. You know, it kind of makes you think that if there was no wall, like they say, the women didn't, you know, not get as much attention in their older years as they do in their youth. You kind of wonder, would they ever change? Would they ever stop being in the street? Would they ever stop playing men for dinner dates and things like that? Now, there are women who are very good women, women who don't align with these other women, all talking about, you know, all the things they say about men. But those women, I think, are afraid to publicly show how much they really care about their men, their family, and their relationships. Because if you think about it, if every time you say something positive, somebody comes at you with something negative, or they misconstrue what you say, you're gonna get a headache. You're not gonna want to, say anything. You're gonna be like, man, I love my position that I'm in, but I can't even really, I can't even really celebrate it with the world because the world is just so against me, uh, so adamant about me not being this good person that I am, and only an asshole or a bad person that's miserable inside, rotten like a bad apple with a worm in it. Only they will feel negatively about seeing good things. And I was talking with my people, man, and I always feel like they misunderstand where I'm coming from. You know, um, what I was trying to tell them is, I wish it wasn't so much of this gender thing, right? And they always proceed to tell me about the system and all the welfare, how, you know, our sisters, black women, couldn't get welfare benefits unless they, you know, didn't have a man in the house, so they lied about the man being in the house. But there were no other race of women. And people will say that, well, the government became their husband, which in a sense that's true. But now look at us. Why is it you got to think about it? Why is it during the Jim Crow era that we were more married than we are right now? And what I found out, and this is where this lack of wisdom comes in, because you have women who are happily married, but they don't show or tell their daughters that they have how to follow in their footsteps. Instead, what they'll do is they'll say, put something aside just in case, and be prepared if he leaves that you'll be able to stand there your own because you got this money over here you're not telling them about. And I'll say this, man, for those kind of women, because realistically, you are an idiot because you just made your daughter's life harder. Because men generally don't leave their family. Most men are family oriented. Now, there's some assholes out there who be, you know, putting hands on their women. Yes. There's also some women who be verbally abusing their man too. But see, nobody want to talk about that. When you say the woman's side, everybody jump up and say, well, not all women. But you never hear anybody come up and say not all men. And when you try to tell people this, like, well, you know, and some people, they miss what you're trying to say because they think you know what you're going to say before you say it. And I've always said the same thing on my channel. Only thing I've ever said on my channel is these are the women that are not going to waste your time. These are the women that are going to waste your time. If you're dealing with a woman that's going to waste your time and she says, fight for the relationship, don't fight for the relationship because she ain't going to fight for a relationship. She going to have somebody over here, over there. Look at it on social media. You see these women, man, they make whole channels about this. They make entire TikToks about this. People revealing how a lot of women are these days with the social media. They love the attention. They're always on Instagram. Why you think Instagram's so popular? Why you think OnlyFans is so popular? If the women didn't want the attention of the men, and if these men weren't paying to see these women, then that site wouldn't be successful. And if I said OnlyFans, I fuck that up. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like even the fact that I got to censor that. There is no free speech anymore because of these advertisers and everything like that. They don't want to advertise your stream if you say this or that, or they don't want to monetize your stream or whatever. And it's all about money. Women no longer, well, a lot of women. There's a good amount of women that do, and there's a good amount of women that don't. But the good amount of women that don't have the loudest mics on social media. So that's what I'm addressing. The women with the loudest mics, they only see men generally as a wallet. Protect, provide. But shout out to the Crimson Cure. And she also says that men provide problem solving and procreation. Now, problem solving is the order and structure that a man puts out for his household to follow. And these days, everybody wants to put down that. They want us to not be who we are naturally. We're naturally like that. Men are naturally like that. Now it's like this new think tank thing I'm a jiggy about, well, I ain't going to listen to you, but I want you to provide for me. I want you to pay all the bills. I want you to put the food on the table, whatever. And this man has to go out and fight the world, and then he has to come home and deal with a combative woman, a woman that's not going to listen, not going to appreciate him, disrespect him, emasculate him. It's in the word. It's better for a man to be on a roof or the corner of the house than to be in the home with a quarrelsome woman. Quarrelsome is a combative woman, contentious. That's a combative woman. If you got to deal with that in your workplace and you come home, you want that peace. You want to not deal with that. And a lot of women these days, they don't provide a peaceful environment. So they say, hey, I don't need you to open the door for me. I can get that myself. And men are like, okay, well, I don't know what to do now. Since you said that I don't need to provide for you, then if it's a door that I open before you, then I'll just let the door, you know, close in your face. Because why, when you're gonna demonize me, or if I speak to you, you're gonna say, well, I heard this story. You don't have permission to speak to me. It's like, what are we doing? What are we talking? And it's like, that's like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand how the world is now, man. Well, I do understand. I understand that lack of wisdom, that lack of, you know, people developing a foundation. You know, you have to have a foundation before you build anything. Otherwise, as you know, it's going to fall. You know what I mean? And the foundation is Christ, because men get their mandate from God. You know, all the laws of the land are from God, are from the Bible. But people want to act like it's not. Only in a country to where it's safe and that the infrastructure is already in place, do women become where they say, I don't need a man for this, I don't need a man for that, or whatever. And like I said, there are plenty good women out here. A lot of them are taking a married, but a lot of them also are afraid to talk about the positive things, because they know that these miserable hoes, they just gonna get on social media and demonize them for it. You know, that's why you have to divorce yourself from social media and live in real life, man and woman. You gotta live in real life. You gotta get out there and you gotta see what the world is. You gotta see the positive relationships in person. Because if all you've ever seen is a negative relationship where a man putting his hands on a woman, then that's your experience. You're gonna think that if somebody tells you that mostly what they see are positive relationships, even though, my parents' relationship wasn't a positive one, and I would see that, but along the years that I've aged and everything, I've seen positive relationships. So when I go into a relationship with a woman, man, I give her a clean slate. I give her a clean slate. Hey, come in, baby. You got a clean slate with me. And that's up to her to dirty that slate up. But guess what happens if she dirties that slate up? I'm not going to insult her. I'm not going to belittle her. I'm not going to put hands on her. I'm just going to let her go, going about her business. Then that's how you have to be, because men are just not appreciated in the society. And a society that hates its men is a society that's doomed to fail. Because when the men withdraw from that society, then of course that society starts to crumble little by little. You know what I mean? And it's just the fact that most things are maintained by men: plumbing, sewage, waterworks, power grids. I used to be one of these men that used to go up and install this kind of stuff. It's an afterthought. You think about this. Think about your internet connection, right? If that internet connection doing everything you needed to do, every time you go and turn on your computer, you just get online. You don't have no slowdown. You watch a video, you don't have no pixelization. Everything's nice and clear, right? You ain't gonna think about your internet connection. You just gonna go to the computer and do what you expect it to do. You're gonna expect it to do what it's supposed to do. But what happens when your internet connection is not solid and it goes down? You can't work from home. If you work from home, you can't watch content or whatever. Are you gonna call your provider and have nice words to say? You're going to be upset, angry. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is you take that for granted when everything's working great. When things aren't working great, then of course you complain about a lot of things. People need to stop taking others for granted, specifically in relationships, specifically today's women. A lot of women appreciate their men and their husbands. That's why they're happy. The women that don't are the women that have the loudest mics. And those are the women that the other women should ignore because they'll lead you down a path of misery. All right. This was the masculinist first live stream. If you didn't catch it on the live, catch it on the replay. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna try to do like late night streaming, maybe like in between hours 9 and 10, maybe like once or twice a week or whatnot. Chime in, check it out. Let me know how you like the video. I'm out. Peace.